Good morning, Snipes Academy. It is Wednesday, May 5th. I'm Mr. Yates, and this is Snipes Daily News. All right, guys, it is hump day, halfway through the week. Let's get into it with some weather. So for today's weather right now, as of this recording, it is 76 degrees, a little less muggy than yesterday, but that will change throughout the day. Probably by the afternoon, it's going to reach a high of around 87, and there will probably be some afternoon thunderstorms, but hopefully that will be after we leave school. For today's This Day in History segment, we're going to talk about Secretariat. On this day in history, the thoroughbred Secretariat won the Kentucky Derby. Fun fact, this past weekend, I played a gig at a event where I had to play Call to Post, which is played before the Kentucky Derby. Only this was for the Puppy Derby for an organization called Paws for People. So Secretariat, affectionately known as Big Red, was a large thoroughbred, about 16 and a half hands, which would be about 66 inches. That means at his shoulder, he stood around 5'6", which that doesn't sound super tall. That's about how tall Miss Facin is. That means his head would tower over that. So he would probably end up being about 6.5 feet tall at his head. What made Secretariat so fast was his ability to push at the end. So he was a very fast horse, but he was able to keep that pace that most horses only have at the beginning for the entire race. And in fact, push even faster at the end of a race. Not only that, but this particular horse, Secretariat, won all three and is still the current record holder for all three of those races. So in very dramatic fashion. Now, there are several things that make this particular Kentucky Derby race significant. First, Secretariat was one of only 13 horses ever to win the Triple Crown, which would be the Kentucky Derby, the Preakness, and then Belmont Stakes. Those three races together combined make the Triple Crown. If you win all three of those, you are considered a Triple Crown winner. There's only 13 horses in history who have ever done that. So, on this day in history, Secretariat won the Kentucky Derby at a blistering pace of 1 minute and 59.4 seconds. That's a mile and a quarter in just under 2 minutes. The next race in the Triple Crown is the Preakness. Secretariat won this race in an insane 1 minute and 53 seconds. Again, still the record. The Preakness is a little bit shorter, though. The most spectacular win he had, though, was at Belmont Stakes a couple of weeks later. The Belmont Stakes is the longest race in the Triple Crown, which is what makes the Triple Crown so difficult. And usually horses that can win in these shorter races can't win in that last longer race, which is why it's so hard to win the Triple Crown. However, this is a little bit different for Secretariat. Secretariat was very fast in the first two, but it's the longer distance that actually made him excel because of that last big push he has. So in the 1.5 mile Belmont Stakes, Secretariat finished in an incredible 2 minutes and 24 seconds. So he added another quarter mile in less than 30 seconds. Perhaps the most impressive part about this is that Secretariat, by the time he made the final turn, was already ahead by 2 or 3 lengths. That's the length of a horse to stride. When he finished, he was a whopping 31 lengths ahead of the next horse. That means the horse that finished second, which was a horse named Twice a Prince, finished 5 seconds after. Like, boom! Secretariat finishes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The next horse crosses the finish line.
Secretariat is widening now. He is moving like a tremendous machine. Secretariat by 12. Secretariat by 14 lengths on the turn. Sham is dropping back. It looks like they'll catch him today as My Gallant and Twice a Prince are both coming up to him now. But Secretariat is all alone. He's out there almost a 16th of a mile away from the rest of the horses. Secretariat is in a position that is impossible to catch. He's into the stretch. Secretariat leads his field by 18 lengths. And now Twice a Prince has taken second, and My Gallant has moved down to third. They're in the stretch. Secretariat has opened a 22-length lead. He is going to
incredible. The owner of the horse, Penny Chenery, would later say about Secretariat at the Belmont race, why did he keep on running when he'd passed everyone by almost an eighth of a mile? My gut feeling is that it was his home track and he was ready for that race. I just think he got there and put away sham early and just felt like, okay, I feel good. I'm going to show him how I can run. I just find this kind of exceptionalism extremely inspiring. It's just amazing that a horse could completely blow away the competition like that. Now let's move on to some birthdays. Today we only have one birthday, and that is Marco Santiago Brau. In second grade is turning 8. So if you see him in the hallway, make sure you tell him a very big Snipes Academy happy birthday. And that'll about wrap it up for us today, guys. So I hope you all have a great day, have fun, work hard, and I will see you tomorrow. This is Snipes Daily News.